On this trip around the county, we'll take a look at Noblesville's clubs during COVID and a look at the new sidewalk going through Hamilton County. All of this and more on this trip around the county.
Scroggin.
And I'm Hannah Hyatt. On the Around the County, we take you to places you may have never been and introduce you to people you may not know.
Connecting with others through a shared interest is something we can all enjoy. Clubs provide the perfect catalyst for that connecting. However, this year has made it harder than ever. Producer Langdon Bartosiak talks with members of clubs that managed to stay afloat this year to find out how exactly things have changed.
Last year, plenty of things have had to change. However, one thing most people fail to bring up is clubs. Almost everyone has at least thought of joining a club, but this year has made that harder than ever.
And can you just give your name and the club you're from?
My name's Arrow. I'm from the GSA Club.
I'm Sydney Klinger and I'm from DECA. It's like a business club.
I'm Nico and I'm from GSA.
My name is Mackenzie Doran and I am in the GSA Club.
Well, we would all kind of gather around together and we'd have group discussions, and we do a lot of our activities as a group rather than individually, which we're not able to do that as much now due to the circumstances, but a lot of it was being with your friends and in the community that you were in.
We would meet more together and have more team meetings in Mr. Nicholson's room where you could ask more questions and kind of just learn more about the competitions that we go to, and you kind of just build the team a little bit more. But this year all the meetings have been on Zoom, so you haven't really been able to interact with anyone, which has been different.
It's been a lot harder to fully be able to do our meetings because everyone runs on a different schedule, and we tried scheduling them Wednesdays, but other people have things to do during AL time because they're at home, and then people who are at home sometimes aren't even aware there's meetings going on. There's just so many little things that can't be controlled because of COVID.
It's been a lot smaller and a lot less, a lot less impactful because we're not able to be all together, and so we're not able to do the kind of activities that we usually would do.
The club has changed by the fact that we're always on Zoom, and we have one group in school at a time, and usually we're doing Zoom calls on AC days, and it's supposed to be, the enjoyment is still fun, so we still have a lot of fun in GSA.
It's kind of made it a little more difficult to enjoy it because I'm not able to meet a bunch of other new people, and I'm not able to make as many friends as I usually would.
It's definitely decreased. It's not I don't like the club anymore. It's just being able to be around a different group of people is kind of why I was a part of it.
It's the social aspect is kind of decreased, and that's something that really drew you to it.
Yeah, it really was. And it's just kind of, I don't know, without being able to socialize with people, it's harder to enjoy it. But I still like it, and like the business stuff and learning about it and everything.
When we're at home, it's very much it doesn't feel as personal as it did last year. I feel like I'm pretty close with the people who are in the club that have been in it for the same time as me, so that hasn't really changed, but getting to know the newer members who haven't really been doing this as long as we have, it's been kind of hard too because they can't they can't be here physically.
I don't know, I feel like it's kind of decreased my interaction with other people just because like if you aren't seeing them in person, then you're not as like bound to like talk to them like via text or like anything like that.
Sometimes it's hard to get to know other kids in the club since we all go on different days, and as a leader, it's hard to connect to the members of the group.
It's better to stay safe than doing all the activities that we usually would do.
Not all clubs were as lucky though. Many clubs have had to completely shut down activities this year.
Well, obviously in a board game or chess club, there's a lot of close interaction with each other. So being that close to each other for a long period of time, even with wearing masks, that would involve doing some contact tracing. I'd have to record who was playing with who when it came to games and if you wanted to switch. So it just the everything that would have went along with it, safety first, obviously, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to try to do that this year. This would have been our third year. I'll definitely pick it back up next year for sure, depending on what our school world looks like next year.
Being able to share interests with friends is something that everyone can enjoy, and clubs are an easy way to facilitate that. Because of the current pandemic, however, many people are losing the opportunity to share what they love with others. With many clubs struggling to stay together, and even more going under, the best we can do is wear our masks, wash our hands, and hope for a better 2021 to 2022 school year for clubs.
Hamilton County is full of amazing artists. Noblesville is getting a pretty cool new work. Producer Blake Dawson shows us a piece of art that's right under your feet.
I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Save the Train movement, where people wanted to save the train that came through the town of Noblesville to get people to the state fair. But it's not being saved, and it's already under construction of the new greenway called the Nickel Plate. The greenway will go through Noblesville downtown and all the way down to 39th Street, where it will connect to the Monon Trail in Indianapolis. Construction in Fishers has already begun, and soon Indianapolis will start as well. Some of the trails in Fishers are actually finished, and people are already on it today, but it's only done between East 116th Street and East 131st Street. Noblesville plans to begin with their construction to connect with Fishers on the Nickel Plate as soon as they are done with 37. I'm sure all of you are as eager as I am to get out on this trail, and hopefully it's finished and will be done faster than we think. Well, until then, that's all the trail business I have for today. Thanks for watching.
That's all for this episode of Around the County. I'm Nina Scroggin.
And I'm Hannah Hyatt. Join us next time for another trip around the county.